In this video, we're going to discuss about the wealth of Oroku Saki, Chrell the Shredder. Throughout the series, when you see the Foot Clan, they are mostly ninjas fighting the turtles. If you look into the details, the Shredder is actually a very rich man. In 11th century Japan, the Utrum crash landed their ship on Earth. Chrell adopted the mantle of the Shredder. Before the start of the series, he had 1,000 years to build his wealth. In the 2003 series, the Shredder's human alias is a wealthy businessman in New York. The Foot Clan has a public presence as a conglomerate business. With so much time of 1,000 years, you can generate more wealth as money compound and assets appreciates.
The mayor of New York gave the key to the city to our newest hero. Entrepreneur and inventor Oroku Saki has pledged his time and unlimited funds to help rebuild our fair town. With friends like Oroku Saki, New York City will be back to her full glory in no time at all.
But first, let us find out how he spent his money. On genetics experiment, creating 3 mutant creatures which can cost up to at least few millions.
Day 733. The settlement we found is not what Master Shredder was searching for.
Funded a 2 years underground genetic mutation project which can cost up to billions.
With your continued funding, the research can continue immediately.
Funded Baxter Stockman's Mauser project. This robotics production can reach up to millions.
I have created the Foot Tech Ninjas and
Funded the Foot Tech Ninja development and his transformation into a cyborg which can cost billions.
I spared no expense. And why should I? After all, you were footing the bill, Shredder.
You will require $147 million. I have already wired the funds into the city's account.
However, he also made lots of financial losses on his failed project. For example, Chrell bots were sabotaged by Stockman, Foot mechs destroyed by the Turtles and Zog. The Foot Clan freighter ship also blows up by the Turtles. Finally, the interstellar starship at the end of Season 3 exploded, sabotaged by Professor Honeycutt and the Turtles. The nearest comparison is SpaceX spacecraft that costs more than $5 billion. Despite all the financial losses, money seemed to be the least of his worries.
I appreciate your concern, but money will be meaningless where I am going.
The Foot's back in business. Profits are up. Why are we not celebrating, Master?
Instead, his main focus is to get revenge on the Utrum and their allies, including the Turtles.
Researching to make this video has been a challenge. If you like this video, please give a like and subscribe as support. Thank you.
Based on the visible clues in Season 1 to Season 4, let us estimate how rich is Mr. Oroku Saki, even after all the financial losses that was shown earlier. First, we look at the tangible physical assets he owns. We have to start from Japan, where the Foot Clan was first established by Chrell. In 1970s, he owns a Japanese lakeside castle or fortress. Presumably, this castle is the headquarters of Japan Branch Foot Clan. Assuming the Shredder still has this castle, the property price of a castle can be hard to estimate. We will use comparison method with Osaka Castle in Japan to estimate its value. Both has large compound and are surrounded by water. Japan Obayashi Corporation estimated that it would cost $766 million to replicate Osaka Castle. Chrell also took a private plane from Japan to New York. This 6,755 miles flight would need 14 hours and larger jet would be required to have sufficient fuel capacity. Hence, a $440 million is the estimated price for that Foot private jet. Secondly, we look at the New York assets he owned.
16 South Boyle. That's not far.
The Shredder owns a warehouse at South Boyle, New York, but upon searching there are no such place. Warehouse price varies by size, location, and etc. Upon researching, the price hovers around 3 to 8 million. We have to make a rough assumption here and guess $5 million for the New York warehouse. Next is the Foot Tower. This is New York Foot Clan headquarters frequently seen in the series. The Foot Clan Tower is publicly seen and most likely serve as Oroku Saki's business office. There are many facilities, experiments, equipment, machineries which are core businesses for the Foot. It is very hard and almost impossible to estimate its value. So, I decided to compare it with the estimated price of World Trade Center price plus the value of a large company research development technology sector. Foot Tower is always shown to be the tallest building in New York, and so One World Trade Center is the closest comparison I can get in real life. The cost is more than $3.8 billion based on this article. For the Foot Clan company valuation, I have to assume at least $300 billion based on some research on company's market capitalization. However, due to limited information in the series, this number is merely an assumption value. I have also considered the Foot involvement in many businesses such as genetics, robotics, construction, weaponaries, biotechnology, aeronautics, logistics, ICT, and many more. In Season 3, Oroku Saki also owns a private airport or airfield with the Foot Clan flag proudly displayed. In real life, you would need proper licenses, permits, technical competency to operate an airport. He owns 2 private airplane jets. Likewise, he might use that to travel to Japan. So same with earlier analysis. It is estimated that 2 jets would cost a total of $880 million. There are at least 2 airbase hangars, communication tower, a terminal building, and several warehouses, trucks and vehicles, and other buildings or storage yards. Besides the money required, I would think he has good connection with authorities to acquire such large land for airfield or airport construction. Oroku Saki also owns helicopter. I assume he has at least 2 helicopters for backup. For a place with such extensive facilities, it usually belongs to government assets. My best assumption to estimate its value is to compare with a military airbase. At this point, I am really overwhelmed by how rich is Oroku Saki. Just unbelievable in real life. In my research, I found out a construction of an airbase at Tyndall with planned facilities equal to Oroku Saki. The contract was $604 million. Next, 1 helicopter with 1 pilot, 4 passengers capacity like Bell 505 is estimated $1.35 million. For 2, it costs $2.7 million. Then, there is a blimp or airship that Oroku Saki still owns. It still remains intact after the Beijing mission. It was designed to carry Dr. Chaplin's new variety of Mausers and an anti-gravity generator from Beijing. It is less used nowadays due to high maintenance cost, vulnerable to weather condition, slower and less in demand. Currently in real life, there are less than 25 active blimp in the world. So, to estimate the value of Oroku Saki blimp is limited to few choices. The best example that I can find is Airlander 10. It can take off vertically, fly for 5 days over long distance, and carry up to 10 tons. The cost in real life is $100 million. Another property Oroku Saki owns is the Japanese-style Foot Mansion. Regularly seen in Season 3 as New York Foot Clan headquarters, it has a wide compound capable of hosting dinner function. Located in New York City, this Foot Mansion is spacious. It has 4 stories and underground basement that can store his spaceship. Foot Mansion has experiment labs, computer rooms, living quarters, training facilities, storage facilities, central control room, and maybe more facilities unseen. Nowadays, New York City is full of high-rise buildings. Most landed properties were demolished due to modernization. In New York City, there are no property that resembles the Foot Mansion. The best example is Carnegie Mansion Cooper Hewitt National Design Museum. It has a main building is surrounded by a garden compound. It was renovated with $91 million, and this is the best value I can find to compare with the Foot Mansion. There are many assumptions, estimation, and maybe more unseen wealth from Oroku Saki and the Foot Clan in the series. Let us sum up all the assets we managed to identify. $306 billion USD. Let's not forget, we have yet consider other businesses not shown to us. First, in the Foot Tower Security Control Center, there are World Map, New York Map Monitoring, and Europe Map. These maps could be their business operation monitoring or illegal underground dealings. No one knows. Next, Oroku Saki could have more real estate properties in New York and Japan not shown in the series. Finally, we should include Japan Foot Clan businesses not shown in the series considering Oroku Saki's first setup was in Japan. Adding up all these, Oroku Saki's wealth is certainly worth more than $306 billion. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.